Now, let's welcome our hosts, Jay Cherish and Dame Deity. This is Millennial Intent, Conversations That Matter.
Welcome to another episode of Millennial Intent, Conversations That Matter. Today's discussion will be discussing Blacklisted by the Blacks. So, in recent occasions, Black Twitter have been really reacting to Snoop Dogg's performance at the crypto inauguration ball for Donald Trump. Snoop Dogg has been stirring up controversy by people revisiting his early statements made in 2017 regarding Donald Trump's presidency. And I quote Snoop Dogg, "Which one of you jigabooed in words are going to do it first?" And I quote, "I'm waiting. I'm going to roast the mess out of you." And I quote, "You Uncle Tom in word are going to do it. Which one of you in words are going to do it first?" He stated. And people are really, I know he's really recanting this statement because Twitter is going crazy. And his recent performance at the crypto inauguration ball for Trump has led to significant backlash. Following the performance, Snoop Dogg has lost over 500,000 followers on Instagram and over 220,000 followers on Twitter, which is now known as X. Many fans expressed their disappointment over his decision to perform alongside with artists like Nelly, Soulja Boy, and Rick Ross. People are saying this is a sellout move to the culture, and they should be blacklisted and boycotted from the community. But what are your thoughts?
Don't blacklist somebody from being Black. What in the stupid?
But that's so.
You can't boycott somebody's skin color.
But I've seen even a couple pastors, I won't name, but they're saying that we should boycott Snoop.
Nobody boycotting nothing. Shut up.
My thing is, Black people are so
emotional
and contradicting, because if you said that each and every day when you go to work, I have other thoughts about that I'll discuss later, but I just feel like they're so backwards when they do.
You need to be boycotting those drug dealers that you in there talking about free Ray, and those, you need to boycott those pedophiles that you're protecting in the community that you knew got your 15-year-old daughter pregnant. You need to be boycotting single men and women leaving their children with random people and their kids being unalived by strangers because you just there are so many things that you need to be boycotting and getting upset about in the Black community versus somebody who got the biggest opportunity of a lifetime and decided to take it. I think I think Snoop just changed his mind, and he's a human being who has a right to do so.
But I feel it's funny. I heard this around social media saying it's a moral compass for them to choose a check over money. Mind you, they have been the community backlash, especially the conservative community, saying their music is untargetable. They've been very disrespectful to women in their music, but they're talking about moral standards. I think it's a little far-fetched when it comes to the moral compass after you're saying somebody about getting their check. First of all, them performing is their job. Like we go to a 9 to 5 or you do whatever you do. Right. This is their work. This is what they do for a living to take care of their family. Even though it's entertaining, it's entertainment, that's a part of their business. That's how they make their money. Right. And for you to say for someone not to go and get their money, I think it's absurd.
Black people are just they're doing the wrong things. Like, you need to be boycotting, ratchet music that has little girls trying to wear 24-inch bust down with long nails on and getting pregnant at 16. Like, if it happens because you made a mistake, that's one thing. But you're praising ratchetness, and simply because somebody decided to, not continue to dislike somebody, you don't even know why you're angry. If y'all don't even I'm really not a fan of anybody in office, but most people don't know why they don't like Donald Trump, to be really honest.
And I think Nelly has made some statements like that, because what the criticism is that Donald Trump stands for white supremacy. And
no, white people stand, the white people that stand for white supremacy are white people that stand for white supremacy. And again, and I'm going to say it 1,000 times, the other choice wasn't for Black people either. So you were under a big misconception if you thought the alternative was going to have a different outcome, because the alternative been in office for 4 years and wasn't doing anything for the Black community either.
And I really agree with that, because my thing is, I believe that our community got this wrong, or the Black community, especially because if you were put in any position, just say as a person, and you got a chance to meet the president, would you turn it down?
Which president?
Any president.
Which president?
Any president.
It's got to be which president. To me, it's got to be which. But if it was Joe Biden, I'd probably take a nap.
I'm just saying, like, but if it's hard to tell someone.
I don't want him to sniff me.
It's hard to tell someone not to be okay with getting their coins, I feel like. Oh,
never mind. I guess I'm too old. Continue.
But I'm just saying, if you're going to boycott something, if you're really feeling like this is causing damage to the culture, and I know this is a very unpopular opinion, and I might get a little criticized for this.
I stay unpopular. Continue.
If that's the case, why won't you boycott the NFL or the National Basketball Leagues? Because a lot of those same people voted for Donald Trump, and they're in those positions, and they don't necessarily, just because they play basketball for them doesn't mean they like Black people.
But here's the thing about this whole getting mad. Half of y'all are lying saying that you didn't vote for Donald Trump, but those votes say that you did. So a lot of y'all are just pretending that you didn't vote for Donald Trump just to stay popular. You're a liar. The votes say that you did. So you're fake, and you might as well go ahead and pull out your MAGA hat on the street corner selling dope. I said what I said. Good day, sir. Good day.
And I don't even know how to come back from that right quick.
I'm just saying. I'm dead A. Y'all are like, you're fake. You're fake. You have fake outrage over nothing.
Exactly.
Too many things in the world to be outraged about.
But I've seen so many critics, especially like, for example, D.L. Hughley and a couple of other people that have talked about that this is causing culture division, and this is bad for our culture because you don't have a leg to stand on, and you're out there just, he's a comedian. You're out there getting your check.
Exactly. You're literally jumped in for clout. No one knows who you are in this generation, sir. Sit down.
But you're the same people that are not bringing positivity to the community, and you're not doing anything for the community, and you're continuing to make broken homes.
The community has pee in the pond.
But I just feel like we lash out on the weirdest things.
Exactly.
That don't help our community at all.
We band no, I'm not going to say we, because it's not me. I'm not banding up on nothing. I'm not doing nothing as a whole, because Black people are off. They need mental health care, because what are you really upset about? If somebody offered me money, I don't even care if it was ex-vice president Kamala. I'm not sure how you say her name, but
Kamala Harris.
Oh, Kamala. Okay, I'm sorry. Kamala. I'm going. I don't care if I like her or not. Agree with her statement. I'm going. If anybody say they paying me, well, all money ain't good money. Any money that hits my checking account and goes through is good money. Good day. I don't care. Just because I'm singing doesn't mean that I voted for this person.
And I could agree with that. My thing is, as adults, we have come to a point where this person is in power. He's the president. And whether we like his opinion or not, it's about respect. And I don't have to agree with it to say I can work with you. And I was looking at some documentaries when, especially when Martin Luther King, because it's Black History Month, blah, blah, blah. But I was looking at documentaries, and I saw that a lot of times you have to what Malcolm said, you have to partner with people, and doesn't mean we can agree on the same thing. We can agree to disagree.
Right.
And that's the thing we don't teach in our community. Like, if you don't agree with everything I say, then I don't like you. It's not that. We can agree to disagree and figure out a solution.
And my question is this: what gives the I'm just trying to understand, because Donald Trump used to be something that every rapper aspired to be. Like, Donald Trump was that guy. Donald Trump's been in music videos. Donald Trump was, he was on stage standing there with like Rosa Parks. Like, he's been behind. What gives just because there are people that see his rhetoric, because there's people that look at rap music and they turn it into gangbanger music, but that doesn't mean that's what rap music necessarily represents. There's people everywhere that can turn a good thing. The few people that, give it bad connotations does not mean that that's what it is. And that's the same thing. What about Donald Trump? I can never get an answer. What about Donald Trump is racist is what I don't it. Like, tell me where he's racist so that I can understand where you're saying.
They're saying that it's all about the white supremacy. That's all I'm hearing.
Okay, but that's not him. Just like everybody who listens to rap music is not a gangbanger, and everybody who listens to metal music, myself included, is not a Satanist today.
But I heard another thing that one of that comedians stated, that he was
DL again.
Yeah, it's like a sense of control for Donald Trump, because they're saying like he talked negatively about the community, and that
what did he say?
Said the thing about the Haitians eating the cats and that's
not the Black community, that's the Haitian community.
But it's still the Black and brown community he has spoken up against, and that just happened. And how can we stand with someone like that? Ignorance is a different story.
I think it was a stupid comment, but I did see that video of that lady that ate that cat, and she was Black. She wasn't Haitian. I seen it. I'm just saying, there was a video.
But they're saying that they're ejecting a whole community of people to that stigma about Haitians eating cats, and they're saying that that's bringing down the community in so many ways. And how can
one person saying that he saw Haitians eating cats brung down an entire community?
That's what they're saying.
Bombastic side eye.
But I think that when the community, they have to be careful of how they speak when it's like you said earlier, especially the Black community, are very emotional about situations. And sometimes because of the emotion, they don't think logically. Or most of the other communities, they think, I won't say strategic, but they think business-like. It's always about their money.
Yeah, we're using the big word, strategic.
But it's just certain things that I feel like the frustration with people, and they're passionate about, oh, well, he's not for the community. He's not doing anything for the poor. But yet, what have we done? What obstacle do we need that we feel as a community that he needs to do or needs to be done when we don't have the answer to back it up? We can't have a solution or have an argument with no solution.
My question is, who in office is doing anything for the poor? That's my counter question. Who has really been in there that does anything for the poor? Is what I would like. Yeah, like specifically, because I got news for y'all. A lot of y'all run your mouth, but y'all last, air quotes, Black president didn't do that much for the poor, and didn't do that much for the Black community.
But my thing is with saying that this is a disgrace for them doing something like this, performing at this high level, I guess in society's eyes, a high level, but you were okay when they were doing it to hurt the community or making the community have a black eye, when they were doing things that we felt that, especially when I know, like we said, you could be rapping about drugs and girls and all of this and not be a part of it. But I mean, what help did that do the community but themselves? And it only helps big industries. It doesn't really, when people are rapping negatively and talking about selling drugs and talking about having different girls and all of this and degrading Black women. How is that helping the community? But we didn't say anything about that because it was popular demand and it was on TV and he was Uncle Snoop and he was okay at that time. But when he does something that's saying, hey, I can put my personal feelings aside to perform, then he's a bad person. You know what I'm saying? I think that the
So
line is
did
so
he ever
blurred.
say anything to regards to it? Like, did
No,
he
only thing.
ever?
No, he didn't really say anything. Nelly did, but he's just had these little things in his car where he's saying, "This shall overcome. I am still a black man, and nobody's gonna bring me down." And
Nelly said it's getting hot in her.
Nelly
So
said that
hot in.
Nelly said the same thing as what you said. He's like, "What shows that Trump is black? Like, what showed that Trump is racist? Like, nobody has showed me any information to say
Yeah,
he's."
I'm
And he said he's putting on for his people. And
again, I'm not a fan. I just you got to show me what you're talking about. Like I need to see it. I need to understand what you're
but
saying.
my thing is that we can respect each other and have difference of opinions, because my thing is this society and the law and the Congress and the institution was not built for Black Americans. It was
Not
built
at all.
around them. So what do you think the society and this information that you're getting is going to, with any political person in mind, that is going to be out there to help the Black community when it wasn't built on them? They never even thought of a Black person as a whole to even consider them to be a person. Black people have been listed as second class citizens and not even considered a citizen for how long, all this time. I'm just saying. So you're looking at this government that was not formed for you to think they're going to defend you. So your job as an individual is to learn it, to study it, and figure out, because we are human beings. You can read and write, but I wouldn't put all my emphasis on any president.
Some of them can read and write, but go ahead.
But I just feel like the uproar is so backsided. Instead of
it makes no sense.
Instead of hurting another person that looks like you and trying to bring them down, let's see how we can make the community better as a whole. That's what I'm saying.
Black people just become like mob behavior.
Yeah,
like
and
it's really just mob behavior.
And it's really crucial, because now they're saying that, oh, that's what I wanted to say earlier. It was the fact of it is that they're saying that it's like you can make a inward tap, because now that I can make a Black man not stand on his word by not morally, quotes, standing on what he believed, to make him change around when you ding a little money in their face. And now,
but that's obviously what he believed about Donald Trump 4 years ago. He might not have that same, maybe he came to his own realization. Like, I don't know what it is, but maybe he just went.
Or maybe he just said, I disagree with your position, but, I'm coming to do my job. It's a job. Maybe he just.
Or maybe he agrees with his position and that's his right. I don't understand. Like, why are we. Here it is. We've been given the opportunity as Black people to vote, as free people to vote, as American people to vote. And the minute you exercise your right, people are demonizing you. Oh my gosh, if you don't believe in freedom, which neither political party is trying to take your freedom from you. What are you talking about?
But wasn't it Joe Biden that said, if you don't vote Democrat, you're not Black?
That's y'all, man.
But I feel like either way, like it is like reverse psychology and trying to make people vote how they want them to vote, instead of having your own mind. I believe in a lot of conservative viewpoints and I agree with them, but doesn't mean I agree with everything that they do. I agree with some of the Democratic standpoints, but doesn't believe that I agree with everything they do. I feel like I'm right in the middle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like
definitely an independent.
My opinion doesn't reflect on me being whatever I claim to be or my race.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. And what I do opinionated has nothing to do with what I'm going to do to help my community and help all community. And I think a lot of things, I get this from OJ. I'm not Black, I'm OJ. Is that you have to start seeing yourself as a person and not what they see you as. And a lot of the comments I've seen, not just are Black people, there are other, if you look at, because he just hosted something for the NFL honors thing a couple of days, was it yesterday, a couple of days ago?
Who did?
Snoop Dogg.
Okay.
And a lot of the comments were not African Americans, and they were like, you sell out, we're tired of you don't want to see this. And you would think that it was only coming from the community when it wasn't. And my thing is, who are you to tell someone they're sellout?
Who are they selling you out to, sir?
Exactly. And it's like, how dare you? The Black community can talk about you, but you can't.
No, you ain't finna talk about me either.
But you can't at all.
Because is the Black community paying my rent? No, shut up.
But I just feel like as a unit, if that was something that we felt that should have been addressed with Snoop, I don't think it should have been. A lot of public figures, especially men that said they're in high position, should be talking about something like that and degrading someone who has got to that level. Let's see how we can better our community. Let you go to the board, come up with some ideas to how to fix your community instead of doing so much talking and there's nothing done.
Social media just got people way too comfortable in running their mouths and not getting punched. That's the problem. But social media got y'all way too comfortable in just talking cash money ish, and there's no repercussions. And it's insane. Like, people can't do anything anymore without everybody just saying anything. And what they're going to do is start having celebrities that withdraw, that don't communicate with other people. They're going to get, eventually people are going to get tired of you demonizing and scrutinizing every single thing that they do. Like, but enough is enough already.
It really is. And it's sad because I remember Chrisette Michelle had sung at the inauguration. Chrisette Michelle. She's a singer, a Black singer that she sung at the inauguration in 2017 or 2017. And she was blacklisted and no one came to her defense at all. You know, she was called an Uncle Tom. I mean, nobody has really heard from her since.
Wow. Well, bring her back, whoever that is. Bring her back.
Her singing. She was such a good singer. But my thing is, she was called a sellout and Uncle Tom, and they really blacklisted her. Really, in the public eye, we haven't seen her do anything. And nobody came to her defense, and they just tore her down just for singing. Wow. But if it was Beyonce, would y'all have done that?
No. But Beyonce was for Kamala,
but
right?
I'm just saying, but what if Beyonce went and sung at the inauguration? Would they said anything?
No, the whole beehive would have been there. Look at them in.
They would have been like, my girl's getting her check.
B, this is what we're doing. This is what you're giving. B, seriously? Okay, bae. I mean, bae, I'm not sure, but okay, bae.
But my thing is, I don't see how them performing has a moral effect or moral decision.
I don't understand. Like, it's an event. If somebody pays you to do an event, it's an event. He's already president. That's the thing. I can see if they went and performed for him during his campaign. Mm-hmm. Then I could see you going, so what you doing? Yeah. But the man is already a president. You have no control. It's gone. Again, half of y'all fake asses are the ones that voted for it. And you're just pretending that you did.
Because they don't want to be.
It's okay, little Wody.
Backlash. They want.
And honestly, I encourage you to lie because it is nobody's business who you voted for. It is
nobody's business who you voted for at all. And you shouldn't feel ashamed by it. But I don't like this over aggressive or passive aggressive or micromanagement of the internet that's making you feel like you have to be there. It's literally bullying literally on how you should think and how you should react and what you should say.
I just think it's funny because I know there's some Black people, like white people getting out their cars, F you N-word, and the Black people are just like, they got their secret Negro MAGA hats and they're just like, if only you knew. Like, I don't know why that tickles my demony little heart, because like white people are going against Black people as if they didn't vote this man in here either, or if they don't have, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just don't do that, friend. I just saying, like it. I bet you it was more Black people than you think it was.
That's another conversation.
You know what I mean? So like there should be no, but the fact that people can't exercise their constitutional right freely is an absolute mockery of the entire system. It doesn't matter if you agree with the candidates, because regardless of which candidate got in there, all the poor people will always lose. Nobody ever looks out for our fellow and common man. So, but either way, this was not the campaign trail. This was after the fact. The man was already elected. He's in there. You don't have to like it, but he's your El Presidente. It is what it is. Let Snoop make his money.
Exactly.
Let Soulja Boy make his. Soulja Boy ain't worried about. But see, you know what pisses me off the most is because all of y'all talking ish the way you're talking, but if you Snoop walked in front of you, you'd be the first one trying to get an autograph and a picture with your fake behinds. So really, who's fake? Which one of y'all are really fake? Because if Soulja Boy walked in front of you, you gonna run, man. Why you, man? And you already know Soulja Boy litter than a mofo. He gonna punch you dead in your shit. Y'all would not say half the thing, and that's the thing that bothers me about social media. 99% of you would not say none of the things you would say if you walked up in front of these people.
Facts.
Like what T.I. said, you should have hit me when you ran up. Because none of y'all would have said any of those things in front of these people. None of these people.
I believe social media is a new liquid courage, because you know how you got to get on one to say what you want to say. Then you
about to get these liquid pap paps.
I just think that there's so many more fights to fight than saying that, especially someone of Snoop's character and Nelly, to talk about them, when if you put yourself in their shoes, you would do the same thing. Now, I could see if they were selling out in a different way, like they're not
definitely would, and I might get a MAGA hat.
But they're not saying they no longer want to be Black, or they don't believe in Blackness, or they don't want to be Black. They're not saying that. They're just out there performing, making their money. Yeah, but we don't choose to do and boycott the things that are really hurting the community.
Yeah.
But when wasn't it Colin Kaepernick, when he stood on one knee and wanted to boycott for that, no Black person really stood behind him, and he lost his whole career.
What was he boycotting again?
It was because he didn't believe that the national anthem, when they said they put their hand on the chest, it was for the Black community, and he was putting a knee down for how America has done Blacks. Basically, I'm just paraphrasing, but
as a Black person, Grandma always taught us about the national anthem and making sure that when that national anthem is played, Grandma was very patriotic because we had so many veterans in our family. And the fact that you think that was the way to do it, because you're dishonoring the veterans that fought for you, the Black veterans who went there and fought for you. You have to think of it that way. Mm-hmm. Black people were so in love with America, even though they went through so much. They went and fought for a country that did not want them here, but you brought us here. Mm-hmm. And they made their own places, and they fought for your right to be ignorant.
Exactly.
And they fought for your right to be disrespectful. I feel like when you kneel to the flag, you're disrespecting those Black men and women that died for you and that went and fought just to be seen as human beings. Like, that's crazy. I couldn't imagine dishonoring the flag and what it stands for, because maybe it didn't stand for us at one time, but it damn sure stands for us now.
And I look at how our forefathers have put, look at Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, and there's so many, and Rosa Parks. These are just the popular ones, but that have made so much sacrifices with their life, and how we blatantly disregard it nowadays, that we don't even think about, especially with now. We haven't took the opportunity. We're doing all this talking, but not, they say always resources. No, because if we put our resources together and understand the dollar, there's so much that we can actually do jointly as a community if we feel that we're still behind. There's so many power, we have so many opinions, but then they don't go out to vote and they say, well, our vote doesn't count. Okay, but you don't go out in masses, but you have so much opinion that you don't do nothing in your community, and that's what just trickles the backhandedness, because you have so much opinion but you do nothing about it.
Nope, and you're the first one in line for a 28-inch bust down.
Exactly, and it's just really sad.
Yeah, I'm over it. Shut up. No one wants to hear from you.
I'm done. I just don't think, I think we really got it wrong in this moment.
Like this,
Instead of putting,
if you're putting somebody down, I don't want to hear from you. The Black community needs to come together as a whole and figure out what they're going to be outraged with, and needs to make sense before you do it, because that's not it. That's not it.
It needs to make sense. And there's so much going on, especially with the diversity in this DEI campaign, that's a whole nother conversation. We as a whole, and it not just as Blacks, as each other, as brothers and sisters of America, as Americans. Yeah. As Americans, what do we need to do? There's so much homelessness going on. There's the education level that the kids aren't being educated. There's so much poverty and things and this just the economy in general that we need to worry about.
The price of eggs.
The price.
You got to rob a jewelry store to get it.
The price of eggs.
That was a Nelly joke.
I know, right? The price of eggs is one thing. Milk is still okay right now. But there's so many more things that we need to worry about in this community than worrying about someone performing for a president
that was already elected. Not campaigning, already elected.
And that's the thing about, they laugh at us because they don't stand together when it's important, but we tear each other down when it's not. That's an issue. The
silliest things. The entire Black community will go after. I can't.
And so nobody's canceling Uncle Snoop. But it's crazy. You bring them up one day and then you bring them down the next. It's
well, weird. I ain't canceling Snoop, and I ain't canceling Nelly, and I ain't canceling Rick Ross, and I ain't canceling Soulja Boy. I wish them many, many happy returns in 2025. And I wish them the ability to live and prosper in any way they need to see fit. Because let me tell you something, light bill company don't care who you perform with. They don't care. You will be in the dark performing for those mice in front of them candles if you keep playing around. So I wish them blessings, and I hope they got paid well. I'm sure they did.
And I'm sure they did. Well, that concludes this episode of Millennial Intent, Conversations That Matter. Do you have any closing words?
Mind your business, America. Mind the business that pays you, and it's not theirs. And what the old folks used to say, if you can't say anything nice, don't say it at all. Go back to that.
Don't say it at all. Agreed. And find somebody else to play with.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you can't offer constructive criticism, I can even understand them saying, you know what? Maybe you should have found a better way to do that, or maybe you could have whatever. But just the way y'all going after people, like, Black people have it enough. We don't need it from you too. We don't need it from each other too. Like, give them a break. Just leave folks
we have
alone.
to. It's already enough opposition against the world, against the whole world, against Black culture and Black Americans.
Exactly.
Now we have to come against ourselves. It's really
exactly bad. Enough of this foolishness.
Enough is enough, and let's try to build each other up instead of tear each other down. How about that?
Exactly. Wakanda forever. My bad. That was something different. Go ahead.
Well, we'll see you next time on Conversation That Matters.
Bye.
Mm-hmm.
To hear more from Millennial Intent, hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to tell a friend.